Texans fans, we're getting closer and closer to 1,000 subs here on our channel. The first step to making this a full-time Chat Sports team channel. Help us get there. The sooner we get there, the better, the more videos you guys will end up getting. So if you haven't already and you want free Texans videos, subscribe right now. You're watching Houston Texans Today. I am Tom Downey. Some trade rumors on Houston around a player you probably expect to have trade rumors on. That's Brandin Cooks, the team's star wide receiver. So Bleacher Report went through and listed one dream trade idea for each NFL team this offseason, and they picked trading away Brandin Cooks as the dream idea for Houston. Now, I am uncertain if that's really a dream idea or more of just a logical one, but hey, we'll discuss it nonetheless. There have been plenty of trade rumors around a potential Brandin Cooks trade for Houston. That's not unsurprising from that standpoint. His numbers dipped this past year. He was a 1,000-yard receiver with Davis Mills for the most part in 2021. Then in general, the quarterback play really fell off a cliff. Mills, Jeff Driscoll was getting reps, Kyle Allen. It was a mess in Houston this past year. But when he is on, he's a pretty consistent 1,000-yard receiver. What makes things complicated here, although Houston was literally close to a trade at the deadline last year for what could have been a second-round pick, it's an uncertain scenario because, well, his contract's a problem, right? His cap hit this upcoming year is over $26 million. That is premium money for a guy not coming off a 1,000-yard season. The Texans would save $10 million, about 10.3, if they dealt Cooks at before June 1st to get some draft picks back, etc. But they can't cut him. They lose an additional 7.73 on top of their cap hit if they were to dump Cooks right now via release. It's just not going to happen. A new team would owe him $18 million. It's fully guaranteed, hence the negative cut savings, by the way, which is why it's so convoluted and complicated. Teams might not want to give up that premium of capital for the money they have to get. That was the issue with the Cowboys heavily involved at the deadline, right? They had an agreement on the terms, but not the money involved next year, which means they weren't actually in agreement on the terms because that's heavily impactful there. Cooks was pretty clearly unhappy last year. He seemed, I don't know if disgruntled is the right word, but it kind of feels like it. He kind of went away for a little bit, came back, said he doesn't want to be a part of a rebuild. And I understand that at his age. That no one wants to sit around losing football games. Teams and players are too competitive for that. My question is the change that Houston has undergone as of late, is that enough to make it worthwhile for Brandin Cooks to want to stick around? Is that likely number 2 overall pick spent on a quarterback enough to say for Cooks to say, I'm going to be here? In the event you do trade him, as broken as the wide receiver market is, I'd be inclined to think a second-round pick is probably about the right value for Brandin Cooks. Maybe it's a late second. Maybe there's some other moving parts on day 3 going this way or that. I think that's a good benchmark since Chase Claypool got a second-round pick, and that was just bad for the Bears. So when it's all said and done, will the Texans trade away Brandin Cooks? Go vote for me in the comments. Y for yes or N for no. The thing Houston also must consider here is if you do trade away Brandin Cooks, this wide receiver room is severely lacking for whoever your new quarterback will end up being. Nico Collins, John Mechie do have some semblance of upside, I think, but you're not talking wide receiver 1, your fingers crossed, basically, for a wide receiver 2 situation. That's not always the best outcome when it's all said and done.